Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of the Big Bang Theory podcast. This episode is called the Hamburger Postulate. So, in this episode, Leonard is basically fixated on these little comments that Penny keeps dropping. And it kind of leads the audience to wonder a little bit how Penny feels about Leonard and his relationship status. But then what ends up happening in the episode is Leslie Winkle comes back, ends up seducing Leonard for this one night stand. So, Contrell, give me your initial thoughts on this episode. How'd you feel about it?
I love this episode also. October 15, 2007, it originally aired. Were you still 15 then, I believe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was directed by Andrew Wayman. I believe that's his first time directing. I haven't seen him on any other director credits in the 5 episodes so far. But yeah, it's a good episode. I was like, the Penny, like I guess Penny likes him. I don't know. I'm assuming they end up together in the series at some point, but I didn't know that she actually liked his nerdy butt. But I guess she does.
You'll just have to watch and see. Yeah, it's weird. It was weird to watch because it's like she seems so not interested in him kind of in the beginning, and then it's like, okay, like now is she a little jealous of this relationship or what's happening here? So you'll just have to keep watching, find out.
Nice. I was glad to see Winkle back. What's her name?
Sarah Gilbert.
Sarah Gilbert. Yeah, I was glad to see her back. It was a pleasant surprise to see her bust up in the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, she popped up there. That Cheesecake Factory scene was pretty funny. This is actually the first episode where the setting of the Cheesecake Factory happens, so you'll see that a bunch more, of course. But that scene was funny, where the title of the episode comes from because Sheldon can't decide what burger to order because, if the perfect burger already exists somewhere else, why is he going to bother trying to find another one? And then by the end of the episode, he's like, this is all like the meat to bun to condiment ratio. The best burger.
And also, this was my favorite Sheldon t-shirt. The Batman and Robin t-shirt was my favorite t-shirt. I actually want to go buy one. Shout out to Batman and Robin.
Did you notice Howard's belt buckle?
I did not.
He had a Superman belt buckle.
Oh, nice. I didn't notice it.
It was shown so like briefly, but after you pointed out belt buckle in like the first episode or something, now I keep looking for Howard's belt buckles.
I forgot about his belt buckles. I have to look for them.
I mean, Howard's fashion sense, come on. He's like on point.
If you want to call that fashion sense. And you know what? I know I mentioned this in almost every episode, but come on with Penny's clothes, man. Like there was a scene where Sheldon and Leonard are literally leaving the house with coats on, and she's standing there like with nothing on. Like come on, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And also the comment that like kind of bothered me a little bit is where so Sheldon doesn't understand what the tie on Leonard's door means, like, okay, don't come in here, something's happening. And Sheldon goes over to ask Penny, and Sheldon's like, what do I do after? Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I wait to greet them with a refreshing beverage? and Penny's like, I don't know. I'm usually on the other side of that door.
Gee, Sheldon, you're asking the wrong girl. I'm usually on the other side of the tie.
Like, you really have to put that line in there. Like, you have to make her that level.
There's another funny when they were at the door and Penny asked, oh no, I think they were back, and Penny asked, who's in there? And he was like, well, there's Leonard. And that was like, that was my line in the episode. That was great. Sheldon was the MVP of this episode. He was the star. Sarah Gilbert a close second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one line of Sarah Gilbert's that had me cracking up was right in the beginning. Penny's like, "Oh, a female scientist," and Leslie's like, "Come for the breasts, stay for the brains." I was like, "Oh my god, what are these lines.
Yeah, it was, and I think this episode was actually written by a woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Was
which is
it?
pretty funny,
Girl.
but
need to talk to that lady.
yeah, I believe that's correct. I could be wrong, but we don't fact check to steal a line from someone.
Yep.
We don't fact check here on the Big Bang podcast.
Speaking of these lines, did you have a most cringeworthy moment in this episode?
Oh my god, yes. Leonard, when he went to after the day after and was like hugging on Winkle at the lab, it was just like I felt so bad for him. I was like, come on, man, like read the room, like just felt bad for him.
Yeah, it was sad. I wanted to ask you if I should reenact that flash freezing the banana and breaking it. I can do that in lab tomorrow. Yeah,
let me ask you about that. As a scientist, shouldn't you be wearing gloves when you're dipping stuff in the or does it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, I was wondering.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw she had the safety glasses on, but like I was wondering she should probably have some gloves on or something.
You really should. Yeah, that's like as cold as can be. To the point where, it'll burn you, like the frostbite kind of burn, but like bad.
And wouldn't that be gross in cereal? Putting some flash.
You know, I really think that tomorrow I have a banana over there. I can bring a banana and we reenact them. Why not?
Nice. Try. Yeah, let me know how it tastes.
Can we
you
put
try
it on
first.
the podcast? Can you add this?
Yeah, we'll film it and put it in later.
All right. Ready? See if it works. Hey! Comment below if that's what you want.
That's ridiculous.
The moment that was the most cringeworthy for me was Leslie ends up asking Leonard if he can be their cello player for their group or whatever. And they're like practicing and then the rest of the group leaves and Leslie's like, do you want to like stay and practice this one more part? And basically she's ending up seducing him and he's like, like you want to like sleep together now? And they're like, well, let's finish this part first, and then just start like playing the music faster and faster and faster while staring at each other. I was like, this is so cringe. Like
that whole scene with her throwing lines, like I enjoy your fingering. Like, get out of here with that, man.
The fingering of that instrument.
Yeah.
And then Leonard ends up like dropping the music stand and all of his stuff when he realizes what she's saying.
And apparently he plays the cello in real life. So
yeah,
shout out,
I was just going to say that.
Shout out to his cello playing and all cello players in the world. Shout out to you.
Boom. Shout out to cellos.
Yeah.
Did you actually know, so Johnny Galecki, I was like looking up because I found out he played the cello and I was like, like what else does he do? He actually dropped out of school in 8th grade, like never went back. And yeah, he started doing theater at the age of 7, dropped out of school 8th grade, and now so successful. Top 3 sitcom actors getting paid in like history of the sitcoms, because that was Jim Parsons, Kaylee Kuko, and Johnny Galecki for the last couple seasons of The Big Bang Theory. They were making
and look at us, all educated and paid the government money for school loans, and all we have is a podcast to show for it.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Moral of the story: drop out of school in 8th grade, kids. Now, do not.
Yep, and then you can be Johnny Galecki.
Then you can be Johnny Galecki. That's right.
One other, I had a favorite line in the episode that cracked me up from Penny, where Sheldon realizes that he likes the Cheesecake Factory burger more, and he's like, who do I talk to about permanently reserving this table? And Penny's like, I don't know, a psychiatrist?
Yeah, that was a great line. My favorite was when she asked Leonard, she was like, I didn't know you played the cello, and he was like, yeah, my parents named me Leonard and put me in AP classes, and that just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That was great.
Up enough, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great line. Great line.
So good. Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't like my favorite episode. I felt like it was a little slower. I didn't have as many like really laughing moments. There were some good lines, but I thought it was good because you're able to see the relationship kind of develop of what's going to happen with Leonard and Penny, and is there this other character involved here, and then just Sheldon's inherent lack of knowledge about social behaviors.
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of good lines. Like, some of the other episodes had one great line that made you laugh, but these had a lot of like really good lines. Like, there's a lot of stuff I took note of in this episode.
If it was a woman that wrote it, maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's why I have to find that out. So let me ask you, as a woman, how did you like the whole, like, why was Penny pushing the other girl on her, like on him? Like, what was that all about? Like, would you be like, oh, you guys make such a cute couple? Like, what's that psychology about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like when people say that at all. I feel like, I don't know. What are you trying to say here? You would make a cute couple. Like, do you want them to be together? Are you literally, because when people say that to me, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd like Leonard, and I'm like, are you trying to like use some psychology here to figure out what Leonard's response is going to be about it? Like, why would you say someone would be a cute couple unless you want to know like what they think about it?
Yeah.
Right?
Or maybe she was fishing for information. Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
guys would be a cute couple. And then at the end, she was obviously glad that they didn't work out with her stupid smile. But
yeah, that's why I feel like it's either like fishing for information or literally just being like nosy, trying to figure out like, is there something going on? Like, I just want to know kind of thing.
Yeah. So BigBangTheory.fandom.com says that the story of this episode was by Jennifer Glickman, but that doesn't necessarily mean she wrote it. She could have just outlined it. So, but the story was by Jennifer Glickman. Shout out, Jennifer, wherever you are. We're rooting for you.
She did a good job. Yeah. She brought in some new elements this episode that I don't think we've seen a little bit of.
Yeah, I really would like to talk to Kaylee about the early wardrobe choices. Like, I can't be the only one that notices that, man. Like,
it's really funny you pointed out because I've watched before and like, yeah, I guess I noticed it, but it's just not something I paid that much attention to. But I'm sure from like a guy's perspective, that like was like a very conscientious choice, like just making her like this level. And you were even like mentioning the camera angles, and I'm just like, oh yeah, like I guess like it's bad. Like as a woman, I should like pay attention and like support kind of thing, but I'm not looking for it either. And like, yeah, like I feel like that was kind of bad, but I mean,
yeah, I feel like that was also part of the show then that got viewers, was Penny's whole thing, that's what brought the viewers in. So
I think they had to make her as opposite of the nerdy scientist as possible, and they took it to extreme. I mean, I'm okay with it. It's just like, yeah, it's interesting how far it is.
All right, yeah. So Kaylee, hit me up on my socials if you want to discuss. Come on, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
shout out to Kaylee. Yeah, shout out to Kaylee and the Harley Quinn cartoon, because that's pure comedy gold. If you haven't watched her as Harley Quinn, pure comedy gold, man. HBO Max. Yeah, it's top 10 of all time things in my life.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, check that out.
Yes. All right. You got anything else?
The one more Sheldon line when he said there's no incorrect equations on my board. I just thought that was hilarious. That was great.
Hold on.
What?
Who told you could touch my board?
No one?
Yeah, I don't come into your house and touch your board.
There are no incorrect equations on my board.
Oh, that is so...
I'm sorry, I gotta run. If you come up with an adjective, text me.
Great line. Sheldon. Oh, and we learned that Sheldon went to college at age 11. That was like the only one I caught, the only like factoid about their past that I caught. So I guess he's I don't know how college at 11. Wow, nice.
College at 11, little genius boy. But yeah, that was funny about the board. And like Leslie changed the equation on his board to make it correct. And then afterwards he's talking with Leonard and he's like, I might have to share a Nobel Prize with your booty call.
Nice.
Like, there were a lot of good lines in this episode.
Good lines. Yep.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Maybe I'll go smash a banana now. So
yeah, go smash it. Let's do it. Science.
All right. Thanks everyone. Like us.
See you. Bye guys.